So right out the gate in today's news, let's talk about a controller. And this doesn't seem like that big of a news because it's kind of not. Xbox comes out with these different design controllers all the time, and this is just a color. The Astral Purple controller they're launching. This does drop on September 19th. But this is for all you controller heads out there. I myself am a controller head. I love the different variations of controllers. I feel like they're pieces of art. They're collector's items. If I was wealthy, I would have every version of all of the Xbox controllers that I could, because again, I view them as pieces of art, and I love this. I love this purple one. But again, September 19th, it's a standard cost of a controller. If it's something that you're interested in, definitely I would highly consider picking this one up. I love the purple. I love the purple XYAB buttons. I think it just looks sleek. It's slick. And Astral Purple has now joined the controller themes, the annals of the Xbox controller themes. My favorite of all time, for the record, is the Forza Motorsport 6. I think they just nailed it. It was sleek. It was sexy. It had that Forza feel. That's one of my favorite controllers of all time. There's some good ones from Xbox Design Lab out there that players have created themselves as well. Those are always fantastic. But anytime there's a series or a new version, I think it would be so cool to just have all of these. So if you're into controllers, definitely worth checking out. Astral Purple, there it is. I included that today because I know there's controller heads like myself out there, so go get it. In another news story, Game Pass, Football Manager 2024. It's going to drop on Game Pass. This is a big overhaul for Football Manager 2024. I'm including this in today's news story because I love Football Manager. This is a strategy game, a strategy simulator of sports. If you've never played Football Manager or a game like it, basically you're the manager of a club, any club in the world, really. This is from Sports Interactive, and you try to win. You try to create a dynasty. You deal with the media. You deal with spending. You deal with trades. You deal with scouting and research and training and practice and making calls on game day. And it's fabulous. A recent game like this also that I could highly recommend is F1 Manager. F1 23 Manager, also available on Xbox. The thing about these games, too, is they've been ported pretty well. Obviously, mouse and keyboard is the best way to play these games because they are basically screens with menus that you're looking at and you're dragging and dropping and moving and clicking at all of your different statistics, all the information that's on screen, and then it processes it over time. So mouse and keyboard is always going to be the superior way to play, but the ports over to Xbox on a controller are really good. In F1 Manager, it's really, really good, but in Football Manager, it's pretty good. And if you like these kind of games, again, I think this is the beauty of Game Pass, because how big is this game? Is this game worth noting? Is this game going to make huge news? Does this make huge news? Not necessarily. It's a niche, but in a Game Pass model, it's in Xbox's interest to have as much variety as possible. They want Game Pass to have something for everybody, and that's why Game Pass benefits us as gamers, and I think this is illustrative of that. Very excited. Football Manager 2024. Fun fact, I was introduced to Football Manager in 2000. I was visiting my cousins in England, and I was like, what is this? And then I proceeded to spend hundreds and hundreds of hours playing Football Manager, and that was back, I want to say 2001 or 2002. It was way back when. So there you go. Aging myself there. But Football Manager coming to Game Pass, and I think it just underscores the beauty and power that is Game Pass. Last but not least, for you Mass Effect fans out there, it does look like we're going to BioWare is going to ditch the open world format. And I think this is good. And I think this is good because I think the most difficult game to make and make well, there's only a few publishers and developers that do it really well. Rockstar, Bethesda, and that's an open world experience. It's very difficult. There's too much freedom, I want to say. Is that the wrong way to say it? I don't think so. There's just too much that can go wrong. It's hard to make it engaging, and I think an otherwise fantastic game suffers from it. So Mass Effect, going back to the OG Mass Effect approach, much more linear, I think is good. Also, there is open world fatigue. that takes place. For instance, I don't need another Assassin's Creed where there's a million things to collect on the map and I'm going out and doing that. There's a fatigue, there's an overwhelming feeling for gamers, I think, that comes in when every game is open world. And so I think these linear games, I'll give you an example of Wolfenstein. I think the latest renditions of Wolfenstein feel nice and feel fresh because of open world fatigue. It's not open world. It's linear. I think Doom is much the same way there with that. And so I think this is only a good move. I think the next Mass Effect going back to a more linear model absolutely is the right move for Mass Effect, and see if we can get back to the Mass Effect greatness and glory and all that. What do you think, though? Do you think open world? See, and I think it's the most difficult to make great. I think linear is probably easier to make great because you can control where I'm looking, what I'm doing, and all of that. So you could really wrap a great. It's easier, in my opinion, to wrap a really great story in a linear game. More easy, rather, than an open world game. Because in an open world game, there's only so much I can control. I can't control where you go, what you do, how you cheese it, and there's pacing difficulties there. Again, I think Rockstar has done it well. I think Bethesda has done it well. CD Projekt Red has done it well with Witcher, but there's not a lot. I would not say Assassin's Creed has done it well. I don't think they've done it well. I'm actually very turned off by the Assassin's Creed. The open world fatigue was created for me by Assassin's Creed, and so I think it's just difficult. I think Assassin's Creed would be interesting for a more linear model there as well. I would be curious to see what they could do with that. Having said that, it works. A lot of people love that game. That's just my personal subject. It's not that I hate the game. It's just maybe I was playing too many open world games the last Assassin's Creed that I jumped into, which was Valhalla, by the way. Anyways, I'd love to know what's your thoughts. You think it's a good move for Mass Effect and BioWare? I do. I 100% do. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, if you like getting daily Xbox content, news and opinion news, then this is the channel for you. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. I'll see you guys next time.